Welcome to this Traci Redesign Team YouTube hop, and today the team are working with the new Grit and Grace collection, which you can see here on my craft table. I'm doing something a little different with my video today, so I'll be curious to see if this works. I've decided to just do a voiceover at the start, which is this bit here as I'm gathering my supplies together, and then to take you along on my crafty journey. So I'm actually going to be the bulk of the video is going to be in real time, so not sped up, which is going to impact on the length of the video. I know this, but I'm hoping it will be more interesting potentially, so we'll see. You'll hear me in a little while I'm talking you through my process. Every now and then I'll be asking for some feedback because this is really different for me to do. I really enjoyed the creative process during the filming, so filming and talking to you as if you were there, but I'm really conscious that that means I can't speed my video or the majority of my video, and so it is longer. What I'm going to do to try to combat that is I'm going to see about putting in some chapters underneath so you can skim through to hopefully help you watch, but let's see how it goes. Okay, so I've nearly finished inking all of those edges, but I thought I'd just come back on as I'm finishing each of those each of those four patterns cut, and I've cut these at 8.25 high because that was the width of my A4 paper, and then 1.25 inches wide. I'm inking, as I said, the edges in walnut stain ink. Some people might think this is a really old school technique. It's one I come back to time and time again, and I love it. I'm just slowing down. I enjoy it because it's actually quite a meditative little practice just to kind of go through and add the ink on. And I also, so it serves a couple of purposes is what I'm trying to say. It helps me drop in, so it helps me just kind of still a little bit as I'm doing just a repetitive thing that I don't have to think about too much, so it helps me just quieten that mind down a little bit. And also for practical purposes it helps because because my trimmer needs a new blade and I don't have any. And so the edges aren't a clean cut. I don't know if I can show you. Yeah, they just kind of leave a little bit of I don't know, paper sawdust paper dust at the edges of them, and so until I can get my new blades, which are due to come, to hide that slightly rough edge and to actually accentuate it, I like to bring in some ink. The distress ink I really enjoy working with, so I bring in that to accentuate, as I said, that texture, which is also a really good thing to do when I enjoy doing that when I'm working with printable collections, because it helps me bring in additional dimension, because I'm not going to be adding in any chipboard or anything like that. Everything I'm going to be working with is going to be paper. It's a paper layer, so that helps to bring in additional texture. I'm not sure yet whether I'm going to ink the edges of my canvas, because the design that I'm going for is going to be quite a minimal one, so I'm planning on layering up these strips in the center of my page. Again, sorry about the sun, not sorry about the sun. So I'm going to be kind of overlapping these. I'm just laying these down and thinking 1, 2, 3, 4, that one. Going to be layering these up on the page, just kind of dotting them around up and down. I might curl the edges yet, I don't know, but this is what I'm going to be doing so that the bulk of my what am I trying to say? The bulk of my papers, everything's going to be in the centre with this white space around it. Some of these I might trim down. I think I probably do want to curl some of these up. But I'm going to be doing it in such a way, I hope it shows on camera, so that you can see all this dimension. The sun's actually helping me because you can see the shadows. So I want to create the dimension. I want to keep this dimension. So I could do that with pop dots, or just really good adhesive, strong adhesive in the center, and then encouraging these to lift. Or I could, like I said, actually curl these, which I might try around a pen or something, so that I've got some curled edges. If I do that, I will want to ink the back of this as well, so I might try one of those. But my mind is a little bit scattered, yes. So what I was saying is I'm not sure yet whether I'm going to ink the edges of the cardstock. I probably will, but I'm going to leave that till right at the very end, because I might end up drawing a border on. I might do some faux stitching on these with pens and dashes. Just, I'm not too sure. This was as far as I'd planned. So my next, and again, I probably won't need all of this paper, but I just cut it. So I'm probably going to go with both of these photos and somewhere to put my journaling. So I've got the journal cards from the collection here, and try to decide which journal card to write on, and then also whether I want to work with a journal card, oh that might be nice, as the title instead, which I really like. And then I like how my eyes are looking at the title. I think I'm going to do that, but here, look, you'll probably be able to see how this has got that kind of white edge to it because of my trimmer. And so by adding in some of the ink with the applicator, it softens that off and everything blends together beautifully. Yeah, I really like that. So I'm going to have that as my title, which means I now need to find something different to put my journaling on. Probably down here or down here. So I'm going to go into the die cuts now and pull out some journal spots. I might give this one a little test to see what a curl looks like, and then take it from there. Okay, so just before I started doing everything down, I wanted to show you, this was one of those strips with the paper curl. I like it, look, it does look good, but I think it will add too much bulk. So I'm not going to curl them. I am going to go with this lifted look, just adhering the center down, seeing if the lift stays naturally, which I think it will, and if not, add some pot dots underneath. Now for journaling, I was thinking I could write on the photo, but I would have rather avoid that. So my options are, I have this tag, which I could potentially put somewhere here, feeling like I want to put something there. So what I'm considering is trimming this 3x4 card down so that there's no border on it, and then tucking it so you can't see the numbers 1 to 10, because this isn't a 1 to 10 kind of story that I want to tell, and then tucking that under here somewhere, moving those over so that that's a bit more like that. I'll probably bring in this one to extend it out, kind of move everything over, so I could do that, which I like. Yes, that's what I'm going to do. So I've got a kind of bracket, if you like, of title and journaling, photos in the middle, so I'm going to go with that. So the next step is to, and I might not even trim that down, is to get this adhered down. So I'm going to use my adhesive. I like this arrangement of colours, so I'm just going to turn them over in this order. And I know that my camera is a little bit closer to the canvas than I normally have it, so I really hope this is showing up okay, but I know I'm going off the screen, so I really apologise for that. I'm going to put a strip of this in the centre, and not going out to the edges and not going to the tips, so that I can get that lift. This is good adhesive, so it will stick. Once it's down, it really sticks, but it does give me a little bit of wriggle room time. Didn't think that through, did I? Because now I've got to move everything. Let's shunt them all over a bit. Okay, move those up. See, this is what happens when I don't speed things up. This is what real time is like, moving things around. Okay, can you still see me? I believe if you can. And then I'm just going to start layering them on. Just real light touches at this point because I might want to move things around. So super light touches with this super light. I fancy putting a couple behind like that as well. I want the same, roughly, not measuring, edge. See, this one's that one that was curled, but I could cut another one out. But again, I'm working with this as if it was a physical collection, which obviously is a physical collection. But by that I mean I'm being a bit more precious than I normally would be with a printable collection, just to challenge myself a little bit. So let's just see what this looks like. I'm going to have these on a bit of a kind of jaunty angle, I think. Going to keep that bordered, but oh yeah, I like that. That's cute. Yeah, that's cute. I think some of these papers aren't straight, which may infuriate and drive you crazy if you are somebody that likes kind of really straight lines, but I'm actually going for that slightly offset look. I need to ink this one. Yeah, liking this so far very much. What I'm going to be doing in a moment is bringing in the die cuts, so all those lovely gorgeous florals. I'm not going to ink the edges of those though because I want them to pop, and I've printed and cut them generally with a white border, and I don't want that all muddied with the walnut stain. I want them to pop and lift. I'm going to be putting quite a lot of these on pop dots so they really do pop. Yeah, so I don't want to ink those, and also I would definitely have to turn the camera off for that because that'll just take forever. Yeah, so let's have a look. We're going to layer this here so you can't see those numbers, working with what we have. Probably over the top, like this. Bringing it in a touch. Lovely. So, just sticking them down. This one, like I said, I put a bit more right to the edges. That's going to lift. So, this is that one that was curled. So, I'm going to deliberately put more adhesive on this one. So I've just got the edge lift, which is great. The rest of them, sorry if I'm giving you a headache, making you shake. Let's have a look. Nice. So I got that lift that I want. So I'm kind of wanting that illusion of just a stack of papers just chucked down, and that's what I've got. Definitely I'm going to ink the edges of the cardstock at the end though, because it's standing out to my eye. So what I'm doing now is just adhesive on the back of all of these, again really avoiding the edges so that I can tuck and layer underneath, move things around, and just really lightly laying these down, because as I said, this is great adhesive. It will stick when it sticks, but it will give me the opportunity to move things around a bit at first. Okay, so that's gone slightly off, look, so I don't want to see those dots. So I'm going to pull this over a little bit. I don't mind seeing that number 10, because I'm going to stick my my flowers over there in a moment, and I may regret saying on camera that I wasn't going to print any word phrase stickers, because I'm really feeling that I want some of that word phrase stickers from the collection in here. I've covered that 10 up anyway, look. Okay, I like that. Don't like this little gap. I'm happy with the angles, but I want the angles, but I don't want the gap. So let's get you on more of an angle, and then you less of an angle. I want it over the top of here though, and possibly up a bit. How's that? Great. Fantastic. Okay, let's, she says, see, it's stuck. It's stuck. Okay, so let me get those die cuts. Okay, so I've laid out all of those gorgeous florals here on the right. I've also pulled in a couple of the larger word phrases that I thought, I really love the sentiments, but they're going to be a little bit too heavy for the page. I really want this linear feel, that vertical and then the horizontal. These really play into that horizontal, but I don't think I'm going to bring them in. I'm going to save these for something else. I've got this, my heart needed this little flag, which I'm going to put here, and so that's going to be one area of embellishment. So one embellishment cluster up here. To balance that, I'm going to have one, I was going to put it here, but probably there. Normally I have 3 embellishment clusters, but I think I may go crazy and just have 2. Let's see. I like generally to have a kind of holding place for clusters. So what would it be like? What have I got? I just kind of put these and then built around them. I don't know if I need this one, but I do feel like I need something here. Nothing has got adhesive on at the moment, because I'm just moving things around, and I probably will have to speed this bit up because I really enjoy this bit. So this bit takes a long time to kind of just move things around just that tiny little bit. So what I'm going to be doing is balancing everything out. Colour up here, colour down here. Definitely want some of these gorgeous greens in. That's the kind of more of a sage green. So I'm going to be going up and down on the diagonal. Not too sure. I love this colour, but I don't know whether to bring this one. Yeah, see, that would be where my 3rd embellishment cluster would be. I don't know whether, I mean, it is on here, it's represented on here, but I might just stick with the yellows and those dusky pinky purples, I think. Yeah, I don't feel that I need that one there to hold it because I've got this. This is really just at this stage moving things around, popping stuff, beautiful stuff, popping it on the page. I can put my date down here. So I'll pull that out a little bit more. Balancing those colours out, and then I'll come back in with adhesive, pop dots, and I tore that one, so I can tuck that under a little bit. I want one of these, I think, and probably one of those to kind of spill down here. I love these little ones. So something like that. And that is then, I haven't got another one of those. I'm sure there was one in the collection, so maybe I did use some of those. I think I will probably bring this in as that lighter one, kind of bring that down here. Not happy with the way that this cluster looks, but that's okay. I can move it around. Maybe a darker green. I feel like I need more greenery, and then certainly need more greenery down here. Yeah, okay. I don't want to use these larger florals because I'm liking that dainty look that I've got going on. I probably will bring in more of the greens because I really enjoy the way they bring an organic, because there's so many straight lines on this page with just the strips and then the rectangles of the photos. So these are bringing in that organic feel that I really wanted. Going to avoid those ones. What other? I think I need more yellow. So I've only got 2 hits of yellow. I've got the inside the colours, but 2 strong hits of yellow. So I'm going to bring in another yellow up here, and then potentially this yellow down here. Again, don't like the layout of this cluster yet, so I'm going to do something about that in a moment. That one doesn't work for me. Maybe I can just spread that out. I think I'll do that. I'll spread that out and use those yellows actually. So that will be 3 hits of yellow down here, which is what I want. And then 1, 2, 3 hits of yellow up there. Perfect. Okay, so I'll keep these couple out as maybes, and then tidy away things. As I said, I'm not going to be inking these, so I'm now going to get my pop dots out. I'm going to work with these larger ones from Hobbycraft and start layering. Okay. Right, so what I have done is turned all my florals round. I have a tiny bit of adhesive on the back of each of them, and now you're going to see a lot of lifting. So I'm going to lay things down and then lift them back up and potentially put pop dots behind some of them, because I really want that layered look. So I'm just going to go in and start moving things around, starting with the largest florals first, knowing that I have the greenery to tuck in as well, and so just laying things down so it's really, really light touch. And there's a chance, look, that I'm not actually going to pop any of those up, which is interesting because I quite like that look. Which one would I pop? That one, which is again interesting to me because that's the darkest colour, so normally I would put that one at the bottom. But I've actually decided I want to pop that one up. There we go, nice. And I think to balance that, I'm going to pop this one up as well. Probably put it over there. Stick all those down. I've got this one here, that nice angle there. Now down here, I've got to remember that I want to work with that trio of the yellow, and I think with that in mind I'm going to pop up this yellow. Sorry if I'm in the way of myself reaching over. Put that yellow in there and pop that one up. Now the greenery, I think I am going to just stick that, so no popping, because I want this to kind of come out from behind the other layers, if that makes sense, and popping it up will mean that it's not going to have that illusion of being part of the floral. So just a touch of adhesive, because again this is super strong, and overlaying things. I love this collection. I love the colours, I love the sentiments. I might end up popping that one up. It's gorgeous. Traci does it again every time. But I really love the sentiments. Oh, hello. On this one. So it's one I feel I'm going to be coming back to, if that makes. How come I've got so many more down here? Interesting. Interesting. I'm going to take this one off, I think, like that. Oh yeah, they're cute. So I'm just going to go and use these extra ones now. This is a really different style of video to the ones I used to do, So I'd be really interested to have feedback on whether you've enjoyed this style. So rather than the voiceover, me kind of waffling, if you like, as I go, I've certainly enjoyed doing it more than the voiceover style. I'm going to pop that one but put it underneath, look, because I've got the lift. So I like that. I know I've got the two tones together there, but I don't mind that at all. Yeah, so I'd be interested to know if you've enjoyed this style. Do you want to see more like this? Did you think, Caroline, that was really interesting, but I can't bear hearing you keep talking about what you're doing. Just do us a voiceover. Yeah, let me know in the comments if you have liked this style of video, and then I will try and do more of these ones. I won't try, I'll endeavour to do more of these ones. Now, where shall I put this one? I wish I could actually hear you speaking so that you could guide me. I might not put it in. I'm not going to put that one in. So, date journaling. I'm going to do those off camera because my head will be all over the place. And then just check in and see if there's, I'm going to look in my stash for some enamel dots just to scatter into this, and then ink that edge and come back and show you the finished project. So I've added my journaling and some enamel dots, which I will show you in a moment. And I'm just going around now and messy inking those edges with that walnut stain again. I was toying with the idea of creating a bit of a splatter with some ink and some water, but I'm not going to do that. I like that look for that organic flow, particularly when I'm working with something that is as linear as this, but I've recreated that with those enamel dots. So I'm just going to show you those. Got quite a bit around the edges, so almost like a vignette, this technique. So here we have it. I love it. I've brought in a bold move. I've brought in some kind of pinky purples, but I've tucked them into the florals. Those are from an old Pink Fresh called Keeping It Real. Brought in these really cute pearlescent hearts, which is from Heart and Home by Cocoa Vanilla. A little bit of trivia. Traci, whose collection this is printable collection, Traci Reed, she actually, this is her collection, Heart and Home. It was from one of her digital kits, and that she then worked in partnership with Cocoa Vanilla to create this. So I love working with these, with Traci's products. Works really well. And then these ones called Plant Lover Violet Studio, never heard of them before. These were just a cheapie pack from the range if you're in the UK, but they're quite nice for these little additional dots. So yeah, there we go. Really pleased with this. Love that I've got that dimensional lift in the edges without too much bulk, so it's not going to fill up my album too much with those curls that I had originally started. Really happy with the design. Glad I kept it simple. I could have done some stitching, so again, if you wanted to take this further, you could do faux stitching, which I've done before around each of the strips. Could actually do actual stitching, so either around the corner, so around the edge of each strip, or just down the centre and then folding them in. But I want to just keep it nice and simple. I've already got quite a lot of pattern going on with different patterns in here, so really nice, that breathing room with that white cardstock. So really happy with this. I hope you've enjoyed watching it. As I said during the video, if you've enjoyed this style of video, let me know. Pop it in the comments. If you haven't enjoyed it, be kind in the way that you explain that. This is part of a YouTube hop, so in the description box underneath this video, you're going to find a whole list of amazing crafters to go and follow along, watch their videos, see what they do with this amazing new collection, and lots of design inspiration and creative inspiration for you to be able to follow along with and to scrap lift to your heart's content. So thank you so much for watching. It's been really good to be back. I've enjoyed it. I've enjoyed creating this, but I've also enjoyed chatting along with you. So I hope that you like this, fingers crossed. And I really hope that you enjoy working with this collection as well. So I'll make sure I put a link to the collection so you can head over and purchase it from Traci's shop as well. Okay, bye for now.